Welcome to Heavenly Nosh. We are at that point in the story after the resurrection where Jesus has come back to life. He has conquered death and revealed himself to the disciples. And it's this amazing moment where he's teaching them and talking to them, but he's also about to leave. And he says to the disciples this thing, and we know it as being called the Great Commission. And it's a really important part of the Bible. You can find this in Matthew 28, so right at the very end of the book of Matthew in the Gospels. And when a rabbi would be leaving his disciples, the last thing that he would say would be really important. It would be something to lean forward. What's he going to say? What parting wisdom is he going to give us? And he said to them, go into all of the nations, teaching people everything that I've commanded you, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and I will be with you wherever you go. And this is an extraordinary moment in the whole Christian narrative, because now Jesus has come to bring life and freedom from death and reconnection to the Father in terms of relationship. And now he's saying, now you go and do what I've done. You go into the world. You take the message of the good news into all the world and teach people the ways of God, the culture of God. Spread the church or grow the church. And we really, for Christians today, it's a really important part. It's why church is the way that it is, why we would talk about our faith and talk about Jesus and talk about his teachings. Because he's kind of commanded us to go into every nation, every tribe, every language, to preach the good news. So it's called the Great Commission, and it's this final parting command. And I thought we could make gingerbread men, because really what that is it's creating a whole new person, and it's a formation thing of a formation of Jesus within us as a human being, and he lives inside of us, but we're becoming something new. We're having our rough edges filed down, and we're becoming a little bit more like Jesus in the way that he treated people, and we reflect him in our behavior. So I thought, what's happening is this new person is being built. So it's a bit like making disciples is making gingerbread men. It's making new people that are following or living according to a different way. And I thought it was a kind of fun way to kind of describe it. So I have a gingerbread man cutter, which is very exciting. So I'm just going to do that to begin with, and just going to take that away. That will be our first gingerbread man. But I was thinking about one of my favourite artists. Is a guy called Henry Moore, but he worked with a lady called Barbara Hepworth back in the 60s and the 70s. And Barbara Hepworth was amazing and a real kind of a legend as far as I'm concerned. And they kind of did sculpture of kind of strange looking human beings, and not strange, but kind of sculpted out of stone. And I thought, could I make a Barbara Hepworth, Henry Moore sculpture of a gingerbread man? And I'm not entirely sure. So we're going to try and have a go. It's a little bit more three-dimensional. And I tried this last night and it didn't work so well. So I'm going to kind of make it in parts. I'm going to use some toothpicks to kind of hold him in position. So it's a three-dimensional gingerbread man. Give him a bit more of a torso there, and we'll see if that kind of comes out okay. There's a few kind of different experimental pieces. That's a head, that's a kind of big head. Make a few different size heads and see, hopefully it'll come out. Normally if I do this with a group, you'd make your own gingerbread man and think about how Jesus is being formed in you as an individual, how he's shaping you, shaping your thinking and your heart. It is a changing kind of thing. So let's just have a few different parts. What I thought would be really cute is part of that process is when we follow Jesus, when we learn about his commands. Remember, he said to the disciples, teach everyone everything I've commanded you. There's a change of mind when we align ourselves with Jesus' teachings. how to treat our enemies, how to give to the poor, how to be a good dad, how to be kind, how to live a life of generosity. And so we change our minds. So I've got an M&M here, and I thought it'd be like a brain. So it's a new mind. So I'm going to put a new mind inside the head. It's a kind of formation process. I did 2 heads, so I'm going to put two just to hope one of them comes out well. Maybe put them into the gingerbread man. That's the new mind. And also a new heart. So I've got a red M&M. I'm going to just insert a new heart into my man. And I mean this in a kind of humanity way. It's not a man, it's not male, it's just male and female. So a new heart going into humanity. God gives us a new heart, and that's a really beautiful thing. In there as well. Actually, stick it there. So we'll stick these in the oven, and we'll see how they turn out. And hopefully, it helps you to think about when we follow Jesus, when we learn about His commands. We are becoming new people. We're being reshaped into the likeness of God, and that's called discipleship. And discipleship is a really big word. It's part of why we go to church, to grow and to grow in our character and have a new heart and new mind. So I'll stick it in the oven. So we're forming a new man, or a new woman, and it's that whole thing of the Great Commission that Jesus was commissioning the disciples. Go out to the world, teach people everything I've commanded you. And as we learn more, as we read the Bible, as we do life with other Christians and sharpen one another, so we're fashioned and we're shaped into something new, something more beautiful, and something that looks a little bit more like Jesus. And so we made a gingerbread man, gingerbread woman, gingerbread man, gingerbread human, and with a new heart and a new mind. And that one's come out really well, so I'm pleased about that one. My Barbara Hepworth intention has melted, as it did last night as well. But if you've seen Barbara Hepworth, you'll see that really there's a creativity to it and an abstract dimension to it. So I don't think there's anything wrong in abstract. Oh, I think that's actually quite cool. I'll move those out of the way. I think, okay, it's an abstract gingerbread man, but it's still the same thing. Remember, it still has a new mind and a new heart, and there's something creative about that. All of us look really different. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I might watch this video back and think, why did you do that? But I'm really happy. So then we have a normal one, just for the people that like things to be linear and kind of concrete. And then we have a slightly more odd one. This is more like me, and this is more like probably my wife. So, you know, opposites attract and all that. The Great Commission. Follow Jesus, learn more about Him, read about His life, look at how He spoke, look at how He treated people. We are, as Christians, growing to become more like Christ in our life and our speech and our behavior. And really that's what it's like. We're changing and we're growing, we're maturing. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you. If you've liked this, please like, tick, subscribe, share with your friends. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Take care for now.